So you got Entourage based off of your HBO time on Larry Sanders, or that was completely separate?
I mean, no. Doug Ellen, I think, had watched Larry Sanders, and was a fan of that show. My agent was Ari Emanuel, so unbeknownst to me, I had been a dramaturg.
Yes.
And preparing for this role, because that role is Ari Emanuel.
That's right.
So I was like, oh, I know this guy. I know him inside and out. And so by the time the role came up, I was ready. Like Shakespeare says, the readiness is all. And that was a blast. And my character was kind of a fringe player. You know, he wasn't, and you know, I had one scene in the pilot, and so you gotta stay ready. And so when the opportunity arose, I grabbed it.
Dude, it was like every scene, it was a spinning curve in the zone, and you took it to the deep part of the park every single
thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
That's incredible. And on the sports analogies, we would have all these incredible athletes that would come to the show. So, you know, early LeBron, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson said to me one time, he said, when you act, is it preseason, regular season, playoffs, or Super Bowl each take? And it sounds really pretentious, but I was like, it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know any other way.
Right.
You know what I mean? You've got to go literally all in.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes that's misunderstood, you know, but that's the way life is. I would rather just go all in than be available to schmooze and do all that. There's time for that, but I got to be locked in because you get one shot.
I mean, the number of times on my Instagram algorithm the scene of yours from Entourage shows up is nonstop. And there was one that popped in the other day of you leaving couples therapy because you just wouldn't countenance being attacked in there, and the way you just got out with a sort of a salute and walked off camera was just laugh out loud hilarious.
That's all Doug Ellen. Every word of that is written by him, and it was just a gift to be able to say these. But you know, my character had to be. It's a big compliment that people thought I was improvising.
Yes.
Because that's all acting is. You take the written word and you're present, and it feels improvisational.
Yes.
So the way I got to play was all the physicality and how I portrayed it. But it was word for word, and it was an honor, and I loved it. And ironically, now we have this whole new generation of these guys in their late teens, early 20s that have binged it since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole new audience for it. And they're out there rebooting everything but Entourage. No, literally, Saved by the Bell. There is no bell. And no one's in school. What are we doing? Literally.
Well, you had the movie. I mean,
we had the movie.
I mean, you got the band back together for at least.
We did get the band back together.
You know,
but people are clamoring for.
Well, where is Ari Gold now? Where would you say he would be if you could write your character? Let's do this. If we're rebooting Entourage, where is he in charge of an agency? Has he crapped out? Has he burned every bridge? Like where is
running
he?
the studio?
Is he running a studio?
Studio in the movie.
You know, there's so many different ways to go. I think if you're true to that character, what we've been through over the past decade, him navigating that, I think he might have rubbed someone the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Maybe a little bit.
So, you know what I mean?
Flamed out.
Correct. And then Lloyd would have to be his politically correct consultant, who would have to just, let's go, Ari. Let's go. Let's get to pronouns. Pronouns? You're a hasn't been. That's your pronoun. No, whatever. No,
there you go. We just came up with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he would have to probably navigate his way back in. I don't know. There's so many different ways to go about it. And, you know, I got to work with Mike Tyson and guys and creatively get them into a place where they felt comfortable to do their best work. Yeah. So I think, you know, Ari Emanuel owns the UFC. He's running, a sports management company. Yeah. So I think we could just take, you know, a cue from reality, which is what we did anyway.
Yeah.
So I think he could be representing a lot of athletes, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to go, Rich. I think it's fertile ground.
No, I love it. And before we move on, a couple other things here. Jeremy Piven on the Rich Eisen Show. Your favorite soliloquy, your favorite Ari Gold scene or soliloquy. You get the script from Doug Ellen, and you're like, I am going to just chew this up, and I'm going to spit it out, and I'm going to stick the landing on this thing. Do you have one of those?
I mean, every one of them. There was no kind of moment that you take for granted. Every moment was like, okay, there's something here. A moment that you wouldn't have thought of is my character. His son doesn't get into private school, and so he has to go to the actor Dan Castellaneta, who played Homer Simpson. The voice of Homer Simpson is very prolific, and he's the headmaster, and I have to go to him and. I think I'm going to strong arm him to get my son into school. And he goes, it's not your son, it's you. You're yelling. And so my character gets very emotional. And you suddenly get to see this other side to him. And Doug and I, it was an interesting moment with us. And he's got kids. And I thought he might have felt the emotionality, might have not been appropriate for that moment. What we've seen with Ari, and I said, you got kids, you get in the way of your kids' education. Would that affect you? And he said, absolutely. And that was one of those moments where we all kind of came together and submitted it, and I won my first of 3 Emmys for that scene.
Jeremy
Who's
Piven.
counting me?
Who's counting?
Guys, for me, if I could, personally, as Jeremy, as all these guys know, in the early 2000s, I was Ashton Kutcher and I were roommates.
I'm sorry about that.
It was a very good thing. And, I was trying to describe to my friends in Pittsburgh what my life was like, hanging out on the 70s show set. We're going to movies. And it was hard for them to even understand like what my life was like. And then Entourage came out, and I'd be down in the Endeavor offices because he was a client. So I'd always see Ari down there. And it was, so that was like, gave me a chance to show my friends, like, this is kind of what my life is.
Kind of.
Like, pretty much exactly
That's
what my
exactly
life was.
what.
It was like he was Vince and I was Turtle E and Drama all rolled into one, And so for me, Entourage was just like my way of showing my boys, like, this is what's up right now out here with me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think, people felt, listen, if we got it wrong, we would have known. We would have known about it. And I think, and I appreciate that there's an authenticity to that. And I think people kind of miss that. The #1 show last year on Netflix was the roast of Tom Brady.
Yes.
And people really kind of dropped the gloves for that. And it was raunchy and funny. And I think people just need to laugh right now more than ever. And the sooner everyone gets that, the better for all of us.
And that's why, again, you're going around the world and the country and on your stand-up tour, jeremy-piven.com for tickets on that. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern.